'cause we've been putting in the hours. We only taking what was ours. So you better not be the one to doubt us. 'Cause we gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. When I was back home washing them dishes, I was just wishing I could just vision. I was gon' get it. I was on missions. I was just living. Walked in that building, we were just building, taking our time.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. A crucial factor to keep an eye on today will be the third down percentage. Both offenses come in ranked top 10 in that category. It's the Browns going up against the Vikings. With that, we'll send you up to Minneapolis with our broadcasters, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, it's the newest facility in the NFL, and it is a beauty as we come to you from U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap, and this will wind up being a poor decision to bring it out as he's out of bounds shy of the 20 between the Cleveland Browns and the Minnesota Vikings. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. They'll run for the first time with Hill. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move them out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss. So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Yeah, only needed a yard, instead went backwards. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Throwing here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Okay, Charles, the Vikings offensive starters, a former Ole Miss Rebel is a guy to watch, and that's Laquan Treadwell.
No doubt about it, and when you look at his speed, forget it. All right, just throw out that time stuff. Watch his play speed. He plays the game really fast and big and aggressively. They want to call him Megaquan. If he plays to that, he'll really help this Vikings team.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. to here.
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's Kessler to throw. And he comes back with one complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Kessler looks to throw on second down. He's got his man on the crossing route. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that'll be good for a Cleveland first.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just that.
And oh, he coughed it up.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
They come out here in the eye, and they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Coach hinted to us that we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that first down run.
I love how he hinted it to us. And then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill with the offensive and defensive line. And they kept putting more defenders on the other side and saying, block that. I don't care how many guys are in there. I want to run the football this week. And, boy, it has paid off for them in this game.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Now they'll throw with Kessler. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
On 3rd down, Kessler. He finds Coleman. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Corey Coleman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Second down following the incompletion.
Here we go now. 3-19. Over. Detroit.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down as the defense looks for the stop. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
Watch it now, Barney. Here we go now. Green, 39.
The center receiver in motion to the right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to take another shot here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There was no shyness there pushing the ball downfield, but I like the coverage on the play. In good position. And when you have a 50-50 ball, who's going to come down with it? I like the way that he made the play, came across, and knocked it away.
This is fielded at the 7. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
The intended target was Corey Coleman, and it's 2nd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
That one good for 10 yards, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time. There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power. And we just saw it on that play.
He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tackles.
And the defenders know it, too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy, hold up the runner. Everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster. It all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Shift together here from the D-line. On 2nd down, Kessler. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And now the offense operates in the red zone. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And a cut to the sideline. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. And his kick is right through. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Give them 16 on the pickup, and the Browns are going to have a first down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. More from Minneapolis after this. Now Kessler on second down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. Now a play fake here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
3 yards to go here on second down. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll fall forward. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. On 3rd and 2, Kessler looks to throw. He finds Coleman. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Second down, here's Kessler. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Down here in the red red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
Kessler throwing now. That's caught at the 2. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. In motion left is a running back. Kessler looks to throw on 2nd down. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Going right side here, and that's complete. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, the guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit. thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Taking it about the 16. Stays on his feet. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done. Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. They'll come out in the pistol.
No. Check. Patriots. Green 39. Green 39. No. Check. Patriots.
Play clock winding down. On 2nd down, here's Kessler. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And it's a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And out now come the Vikings. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before and realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
15 yards there on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
Here we go now. Detroit.
And they'll run it here. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Here we go. Set. Blue 90.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, it's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
So still in search of the 1st down after that last completion.
Here we go now.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
No. Check. Patriots.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And quickly, they get to the line.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Wide open receiver, complete. 12 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a Minnesota 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And he's got his man on the out route. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Kessler now on third down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
On first and 10, here's Kessler. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Looking to pass, Kessler, and he will find his man on the end route, complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So the offense lining up first and 10.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Set. 319. 319.
Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. No. Check. Patriot. Hurry up. Here we go. 319.
Halfback sent in motion.
319.
58 to Mike. 58 to Mike.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Third down now following the completed pass.
All right, here we go. 3-19. Detroit. Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. Here's Jeff Locke now as he's on to punt for Minnesota.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And it's taken in at the 9. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Here we go. Watching that, Marty.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield.
Watching that, Marty. Back nine and out, Philly. Here we go.
Kessler again here on 2nd and 10. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? That's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them.
On 3rd down, Kessler going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Kessler now on 1st down. Surveying the field. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now it's Kessler. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. A 1st down throw for Kessler. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the 4th quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Kessler. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
All right, now lucky 56. Lucky 56. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
Time running out here on the play clock. Throwing is Kessler on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Boswell's kick is good. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front. But then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out. And you think, I don't know, the field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. It'll go as a gain of 10 there, and it'll be 1st down Vikings.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll give it to him right up the gut as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Shift together here from the D-line. They come out here in the eye. 3-19. On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you 1st downs and big plays of all styles. But you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up 1st downs.
And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Here we go. Gun, 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 gun.
And they'll go on the ground, trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here we go. 3-19. No. Check. Patriot.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. Time for a break. And he'll go down at the 28. We're back to see what happens after this. So now Catanzaro comes on in a pressure spot. This for the lead in the final stages. And this one is right down the middle. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Well, now then, it's a big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so, but this was not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
And now the Browns offense trots back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it. Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on it.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Back to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And the back goes into motion. Back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. And now out comes Minnesota. This remains a 1-point game. The defense did their job. Now the offense here late, they just need to kind of hold on, seal this victory.
And the defense did it so well, didn't they? Didn't allow any points and got the ball back for their offense in order to close out this game. What a great feeling for both sides of the ball.
It'll be a better feeling if the offense can just seal this thing. We'll see if they can do it.
You trying to say the defense doesn't want to go back out there again?
That's correct. Okay. They'll give it to him right up the gut. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Now they'll run it on the toss. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, partner, you might want to tear up your scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. 3rd down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it, and they ran it really well and picked up the 1st down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner.
And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Green 39! Green 39! Get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter